Hi everyone, Sam from Raised by Owls here, and you're watching Get Heavy UK. Let's do this.
So, as you know, I'm Stevie. I'll also go by as BeardBo Baggins here on YouTube and Twitch. And welcome to our podcast, Let's Get Heavy. We like to chat and just hang out with bands and get to know people a bit more better. And as soon as I heard your epic new single, I was like, I need to speak to these guys.
Thank you, man.
So thank you very much for taking the time and chatting with us.
No, it's fine.
Excellent. So I kind of want to let's kind of go back to the bit. So you guys formed in 2016, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, kind of late 15 we started making things, but we kind of launched the project in 2016. So yeah.
Nice. So can you give us a quick blast from the past? What inspired the band's creation and that unique band name?
Yeah, so basically Raised by Owls started as a bedroom project. It started between me and the guitarist Alex, and then we roped in on like drummer Lee as well. Basically started as the three of us. Again, just started in Alex's bedroom. Wasn't meant to be anything super serious. We weren't even really planning to do anything with it. It was just something for our own amusement. Started making a couple of grindcore songs, and I tried to write some serious lyrics at the start, and that just didn't go well at all. I was just like, I don't really know. It felt a bit insincere. It felt a bit awkward. So then I wrote like one about Ainsley Harriott, and I was like, okay, this is where it's safe. Yeah, so we started that. Then we started doing like online videos, and that's kind of where it really started, and it kind of grew from there. And we recruited Mark on guitar, Toby on bass, and then we've been this unit since. We've not had any lineup changes since that. That kind of initial foundation, and then started doing it live, and then just went from step to step, and people still like it, and people still like the videos and like the music and stuff. So it's very cool. In terms of the name, I don't actually have a very good answer for this. I think we might have been queuing for a ride at Alton Towers, and we were talking about
right.
band names, and I was like, I can't even remember why I said Raised by Owls, because I think it was like the typical metal name of like Raised by Wolves or Raised by Lions or something like quite a metal sounding, or Bears or something, and then we were like, well, Owls, and then it just stuck. We started calling the file names Raised by Owls, and that was that.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah.
Nice one. And then obviously the following year, 2017, you went on and performed in Metal to the Masses. You won it as well, playing Bloodstock that same year. That was obviously a pivotal moment for Raised by Owls. How did that shape the band's direction?
Oh, massively. Like, it was crazy. Come to think of it, it was crazy. So 2016 is when we kind of launched it, started doing online sketches. We put our first album out. But we didn't play live until 2017, and our first show was Metal to the Masses. We thought it'd be a really good idea. Yeah, how idiotic. We were like, we'll just enter this competition for Bloodstock as our first gig, thinking that it'd go down swimmingly. And we got kicked out of the first round, which was fair enough, because we didn't know what we were doing, and we were just kind of, we jammed together in a practice room, but that was about it. And then I think because obviously the humour was there, we got brought back as the wild card. So we got brought back to the semi-final as a wild card, ended up winning that, and then ended up winning the competition, which was completely insane. But in that gap between the wild card and that first show, we'd like gone up and down the country a bit, if you see what I mean. So we'd kind of like got our feet under the table and gone, all right, okay, we know what works, we know what doesn't work. So there was quite a steep learning curve in that gap. And then we won, which was phenomenal. Like, I wouldn't have called it in a million years. Just still to this day is a bit baffling that we won the entire competition, because I never win anything. I'm like one of those people who just doesn't win anything. I've never won anything in my life. So to win that, it was lovely. And then after that, I think that was pivotal in kind of pushing the band to a to bigger places, basically. Like the recognition we got off playing off New Blood was insane. So
the turnout as well for us was insane. That tent was
Yeah,
packed, man.
yeah, it was absolutely rammed, and I couldn't believe it. And I was so nervous going on as well. And the stage crew was so lovely on New Blood. They always are. I mean, the crew were there are great anyway. But the New Blood, there was they were kind of going, it's going to be all right. But just while you're on there, just for like 3 to 5 seconds, just take a look and breathe it in, because you'll just autopilot. And I did. I was like, I stopped and looked at the crowd, and I was like, nope, no, I can't handle this. This is too many people. But yeah, no, it was awesome. It was I don't think we'd be like here in the state that we're in now if that hadn't have happened. So
Yeah.
very great.
I actually watched
why
that. Yeah,
oh,
sorry, go on.
no, I was going to say that's why I champion like metal to the masses now as well. It's kind of like definitely urge bands to go and do it, because even if you don't like get to the final or you don't win or whatnot, there's still so many rewards you can get in terms of like networking and just like meeting new bands and meeting new pals and stuff like that. So it is very cool in that regard.
Definitely. I actually watched that live performance on YouTube over the weekend, and
Nice.
just absolutely blown away by it. Absolutely blown away by it.
Hey.
It's still amazing to watch. And then obviously,
there's a hilarious bit when my voice breaks.
Right.
I don't know if you can hear it. Like I'm introducing a song, and I think it's American Werewolf in Bognor Regis, and I go American Werewolf in Bognor Regis, like my voice just cracks. So next time you're watching it, if anyone's watching it, just check that out.
I will. I'll be sure to check that out. And then obviously in 2021, you returned to Bloodstock once again, for after the COVID restrictions, etc. I believe that they put on an extra day at Bloodstock that year, and you played on the Sophie Lancaster stage in 2021, quite high up on the bill as well, which was absolutely amazing. And then now you are gearing up for the main stage in 2024. Can you describe the emotions as you progress from New Blood to Ronnie James Dio stage?
Oh, it's again wildest dreams, man. Like I can't fathom it. I still can't believe we got a New Blood. So to now be getting on the main stage, I'm like, nah. It was weird actually. It might have been the year after we played the New Blood. Me and Toby were quite drunk in the arena, and on the Thursday night when they open everything up.
Yes.
But you can get to the main stage and stuff because Lemmy's Bar's still open. So
yes.
we were walking to Lemmy's Bar, and we went and looked at the stage, and you could get quite close to the front, I think. Like, you could actually get to the barrier, and we were, like, looking up at it, and we were like, oh, one day. And there was a part in my mind that was like, probably not. But it's nice to have that dream kind of thing. Like, hey, it's nice to dream, but yeah, probably not. So now that we are, it's phenomenal. Like, absolute dream come true. And I'm already terrified.
Really? Oh, man, I think you should do it.
I'm already nervous, but
I think you'll absolutely smash that stage, and it's well deserved. You know what I mean? You just have worked your asses off for it, and like I said, so it's well deserved, and I'll definitely be there for that show because I'm a Bloodstock since every year since 2014. So I'll be there definitely for sure.
Excellent. That's it. It's good to hear, man. Like, and we're gonna really pull it out the bag as well. I think we're gonna treat it's our biggest show we've ever played. We're gonna treat it like it's our biggest show we've ever played. We're gonna try and pack it full of like stuff that people will like, loads of like things, like loads of surprises that hopefully people will really enjoy as well. So it's kind of like making it worthwhile for people getting up hungover at 10:30 on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, so. Hungover to fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You just gotta wake up.
Yeah.
It's just us.
Oh, it's gonna be an epic show. But like you just said, treat it big, regardless of the time of day. Treat it like it's a headline show. You know what I mean? And then just absolutely go out, just all guns blazing. You know what I mean? So, and I think,
well, one of the ways that I've kind of gone about the especially in the last year or two with this band is just treat everything like it's the last time you're going to do it, because you never know. Like, as bad as, and that not in the morbid way, but you just don't know with stuff. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's around the corner. Just like this new album, we're just going to be like, hit it like we're hitting our last album, hit the shows like we're playing our last tour, because you never know. And I think that logic, that mindset is good anyway, because it'll make you kind of go, right, let's really put a hell of a show on here.
Yeah, nice one. And 2024, you've got a big year for 2024, you guys, because you've also got a new album coming out, Volume 3, the Satirical Verses, which is an absolutely fantastic album name, by the way.
Thank you. Cheers, man. I proud of it.
Yeah, man. I know you've already released 2 albums in the Great British Grind Off and Dreadful.
Yep.
Satire with extreme metal is such a killer combo. How did the idea for this album come about?
So the idea came about. So we were right. This album's taken quite a long time to write. So we actually started writing it in 22. So we started having some ideas knocking around in 22, and then 23 we kind of heavily focused on it, all the musical side of things. So we've kind of always mixed satire with our music to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, when we first started, I don't know, I struggled to try and be serious. When I actually sat down and was like, I'll write something serious, or I'll write something about, death, or, do you know what I mean? I was just like, nothing is really feeling very natural to me. And then as soon as I started mixing it up and being a bit daft with it, it just felt natural. It flowed very easily. And then obviously it resonated with people. So we carried that on. So the first 2 albums were British celebrity references.
Yeah.
Which was obviously great and people loved and all of that. But when it came down to sitting to album 3, we knew we needed to level up. So we need, like, musically, the guys did. Like, we got 11 songs. They're fully fleshed out. They're like 3 to 4 minutes long, and they're like, I know every band says it, but it's like sort of the best songs we've written as a band. And I felt like music lyrically, I needed to match that. And I thought, if I do another album of British celebs, I'm going to be like, it's just going to be a bit same old, same old. So satirizing the metal, like the metal world, was something we started doing with our sketches in COVID. So during 2020, we obviously started doing the video skits, and then when everything locked down, we kind of did them weekly, because there was nothing else to do.
Oh, I absolutely love those video skits, man. Kept me sane during COVID.
Well, that's the lovely thing, right? Is like a lot of people came up to us at like that first Bloodstock afterwards, and were like, "Oh, your videos got me, got us through a rough ride." And it's like, it's so lovely to hear that, because it was genuinely like, it was just something to keep us sane, but it was also lovely to hear that people enjoyed it as well. So that was very cool. But it made sense to kind of follow down that path musically as well. So obviously, a lot of the sketches hone in on like some little like thing, like quirks that metalheads have, or like kind of poking like fun at metal bands, or the bigger metal bands and stuff like that. So I thought transferring that over to the music would make sense, and I think it's paid off well. Like, it was a gamble as well. I was like, this could either go one or two ways. This could blow up in our face. And I think the first single we put out back in February, like, that was like, okay, cool, this should be all right. Like, we should be good with this.
I still remember the video. I think it's the video for, is it Ross Kemp on Gangbangs? With the opening in the supermarket.
Yep. Yeah.
My mate sent it.
That was
my mate sent us that, and he's like, "It's us." He said, "I was like, we went just absolute kings." He's just absolutely buckled over with that video.
Amazing. Yeah, well, that was it. It's kind of trying to find something that's like a unifier as well. Like, I think with our brand of humor, we don't want to kind of, we want to focus on the stuff that like brings people, as hippie as it sounds, like unites people, like brings them together. If like, let's go together and be like, look, what, as a collective, as metalheads, what do we all do that's, actually quite funny and actually quite out of this world? Because metal itself inherently is very over the top and very silly. Like, I love it so much, but it's so like OTT half the time, which is part of its charm as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's easy to like to poke fun at it. It's just kind of like, and I think most people who love it like to poke fun of it, like at it, and be part of that, because that's all part of it as well. So
yeah. Look at Jim Carrey. If you think of Jim Carrey, like when he was, because he's a fan of Napalm Death, and you see him on that live, like he's doing like a talk show, and he's just making stupid noises, sort of thing, to Napalm Death. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we all make fun of it.
No, of course, and I think that's the best way to be. I think like there are like little niches that take it uber seriously, and they're funny in their own regard. Like they end up being hilarious. Like the people who like the gatekeepers or the elitists who are like, no, you can't. It's not supposed to be funny. And it's kind of like, well, you're making it more funny. like you're being unintentionally hilarious now. So yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. Just let people listen to what they want to listen to at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just a way to blow off steam at the end of the day, isn't it?
Of course, yeah. It's just um, yeah. I've never got it, but it's funny.
Now I know at the minute we've only heard one song from the latest album that's due out, which is "Sorry I Wore a Dying Fetus Shirt at Your Gender Reveal Party," which is absolutely fantastic. Again, another fantastic video. We've played it many times live on my Twitch channel, and it just absolutely cracks people up. But
Good.
other than the satire, are there any other overarching themes that you're tackling on this album, or is it just all full out? It's funny satire.
So yeah, a lot of it, the majority of it is just kind of like satirizing. I mean, it's similar to the other two albums in the fact that it's kind of like warped scenarios, but with like like metal celebrities involved now. So a lot of it's satirical, a lot of it's like either honing in on something that we all do or just making a bizarre scenario. Like, for example, we've got a song called The Dark and Twisted Realm in which Fred Durst resides, which was literally just like, imagine if Fred Durst was Vecna from Stranger Things kind of thing. Like, what, if he had his own like realm that he just was like parallel to ours and all of that. And it was just that kind of like the themes of like death metal bands that I love and how they would take these concepts and make them, but like then just kind of twist them to be a bit more silly. So for the most part, it's daft. There's some of the daftest lyrics I've written in this album, but then there are actually a couple of turns where it's like there's a few not super heavy or super serious bits, but a couple of like a couple more serious ones, like just sprinkled in, like in the middle, and then like so the start and the close, they're like a bookend of like semi-serious, and one in the middle is sprinkled with like the one in the middle is really interesting because it's half parody, half serious, and I think the way that we've done it is the song shifts as well. The song shifts musically that way, so yeah.
Nice one.
I think it'll be interesting to see how people react to these.
I'm very much looking forward. What's the release date on that again?
Friday the 3rd of May.
3rd.
So
we haven't got long to wait. We haven't got long to wait.
No, and you've got another taster on the way as well.
Ooh.
So you will have another video. Well, to be fair, there's 2 more videos coming, but there's going to be one in a couple of weeks, and then one kind of around release as well. So
nice one.
Plenty to look forward to.
Excellent. Will there be a return of your mum again?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, she's like the most popular member of this band by a mile. Like people, honestly, we've had it before where somebody's come to the show and gone, "Is your mum here?"
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, and I've laughed it off and gone, "No, she's at home," and they're like genuinely gutted. They're like, "Oh, like I genuinely thought she'd be here. Like I bought a ticket because I thought she was here." I was like, "No, like we're a metal band. Like I can't like, imagine that's a sorry state of affairs if I've got to like cart my mum around just to get a bit of clout. But people love her, so maybe I'm missing a trick."
Maybe. Has she actually saw Raised by Owls live?
No, do you know what? As well, like everyone's parents come see her, and she's just like, "No, I'm good." No, I think she does want to come see us. But it's become such a big thing, like it's become such a thing where it's like she's not seen us all this time that I really want her to come to the right show now. So I'm being really picky about which show she comes to. So
Bloodstock.
Maybe Bloodstock. Maybe I'll have her come see me at Bloodstock and be like, I'll make out it's really cool. Like I've always been doing shows like that. Like since the start, they've been every stage I go on's like this. Like, do you know what I mean? Make out like I've lived this high rock star life or something.
Speak with the organisers. I'm sure they'll let you have her on stage I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be, do you reckon that'd be the first band that's brought their mum out? I reckon.
Yes, I would think so. I think so.
I think you've sold it to me, man.
Yeah. We'll have to delete this segment just in case anyone tries and steals it.
Yeah.
It'd be sod's law. Someone does it on the Friday night.
I was about to say the Friday, everyone starts bringing their mums out. That'd be cool, though. If that was the trend, if that was our legacy, I'd be very happy that metal bands start bringing their mums out. Give the love for the mums.
Well, you heard it here first. It's come from Raised by Owls. Copyright that.
Yeah, 100%.
And is she an actual Dying Fetus fan, or was that just for the video?
Just for the video. The amount of ridiculous stuff I get to say, mate, it's mad. She doesn't know what she's saying either. Bless her. She's such a good sport. She just says it. I'll just be like, right, you just need to say these things, or you need to say this band name. And she's like, is that a real band name? I'm like, yeah. But yeah, she doesn't. She hates this kind of music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's not. Oh no, like she doesn't hate it in that regard. But she's when I started listening to it, she was like, "Oh, it's just angry, isn't it? It just makes you angry." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the outlet. That's like that's how you feel around it." But yeah, she's very supportive. She's very good support, but she certainly doesn't listen to it.
What kind of music would she be into?
Oh man, like a lot of 80s stuff. She likes a lot of. I think she got on stage with. She said she was side of stage for Bon Jovi once.
Nice.
She's got like a bit of a rock history. She used to run a gym that Def Leppard used to go to, apparently. So,
oh, nice one.
Yeah, so she's got a bit of rock background. She likes a bit of rock, but like Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses is kind of like the threshold of her rock. And then other than that, it's kind of like all over, kind of a bit like 80s vibe, maybe a bit 70s as well.
Excellent. We are slightly getting off topic, as I tend to do. I'm sorry about that. Any particular crazy or funny song titles and lyrics that you are willing to tease?
From the new album?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Let me have a look. Bear with me.
I know you touched on the Fred Durst one not long ago.
Yeah, the Fred Durst one. I'm a big fan of that. I think in terms of silly lyrics. So going for a pint with Corpse Grinder is quite daft. That's literally just daydreaming about how cool it'd be to go for a pint with Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse. Like how much of a sound dude he seems like, and how amusing it'd be to just be in a pub with him. Like just a very British pub with Corpse Grinder. It's so weird because obviously when I'm on stage or when I'm at practice and I start screaming the lyrics, I just know them off by heart. I think I know I've got it. So we've got a song called Strictly Come Danzig, which is about going dancing with Glenn Danzig at a goth nightclub. And there's a lyric that says, "It's time to dance, 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 my darling. The only thing they've got on tap is fucking carling." And I really like that line because I like that's the bit of the song. It's just
Carling.
That's my reaction. Yeah, but that's my reaction. Go to like a club and there's just carling on. I'm like, oh,
nah. Oh God. I mean, could be Carlsberg.
Yeah, yeah. Could always. But yeah. So yeah, probably dancing. There's some of the more out there lyrics on the album for sure.
So how do you actually find the perfect balance between brutal music and genuinely funny lyrics? Do you find it challenging?
No, not really. To be fair, I mean, this album took longer to write. But no, I think it's kind of like, because the way that I do it is it's kind of, I still try and write it like a metal song. So a lot of like, if you read the lyrics, if you just changed a few words out that were the daft bits, a lot of it would, like some of these songs would like hold up as actual metal songs, if you see what I mean. Like you just take a couple of the Fred Durst bits out, take a few of those nods out, and it could be a metal song. But no, I think it flows quite naturally, weirdly. And I don't know why, but it's just like it's a bit sad as well. But if I laugh, like if I'm writing it and I'm like, and I make myself laugh, which is a really concerning sign. But if I can make myself laugh with a lyric, I'm like, let's got going. Because if I'm laughing, I am. Hopefully, someone else will laugh at this. Or if I send it to the guys or I tell the guys when we're at practice, and they just like go, like if they go like, then I know I'm onto a winner as well. Like if it makes them roll their eyes, I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm onto a good one here. So that's always my threshold. That's how I figure them out, I guess.
That was actually going to be my next kind of question, was like, lyric wise, like how does the writing process work? Is it just solely yourself who writes the lyrics, or does everyone kind of chip in?
No, it's just me that does the lyrics. So I leave those guys to do a lot of the music. Although, like, there's some sessions where I'll be there. But in terms of lyrics, it's all me. They leave it in my capable hands, less than capable hands. Which again, I think some of the longest things, the things that take the longest, actually, other than the lyrics, is the title and the concept. Believe it or not. So coming up with like a decent title that I'm happy with and a concept that I'm happy with is the hard bit. So once I've got that, the lyrics are actually fairly easy after that, because then I'm like, okay, it's about going for a pint with Corpse Grinder. Cool. And sometimes I won't get that until I hear the song, and I'll be like, it's like the I'm sorry I wore a dying fetus t-shirt to your baby's gender reveal party. They sent that song, got written, and I was like, this sounds like a dying fetus song. This sounds very like the fast bit sounding, and then the kind of slammy bit at the end. I was like, yeah, this has got some segments that remind me of them. So kind of pin it, like, you know, kind of wrote a concept around that. So so it's just me that does the lyrics, but the guys write all the music.
And how often, how many times do you get the eye roll? Is it quite
every song, every single song, like, all lyrics. Like I send the track listing in, and they've stopped replying to me. Do you know what I mean? They just read it now and go, yeah, just do what you want.
just let him get on with it, lads. Just let him get on with it.
Yeah. He's never going to stop, so we may as well let him carry on.
So metal sometimes gets, in my opinion, a little bit too serious, reputation-wise. Do you hope to try and break that stereotype, or do you feel like you have broken that stereotype?
I don't know if we've broken it. I think there's a lot of bands before us that have broken down those walls. I think we're just we're I don't know. I think it's good to show people that you can have fun with metal. That it doesn't have to all be serious. I think some of it being serious is good, but I think it's a fine balance, right? Like I think that a lot of my favorite bands are serious bands, and you know, with serious lyrics, serious output, serious imagery, and all of that. And it's great, and I love it. But you know that like 9 out of 10 of those people that if you bumped into them backstage, they'd be lovely. It's like, again, Corpse Grinder is a perfect example of, like, you know, the image of Cannibal Corpse is very serious. The lyrics, it's all very horror themed, all of that. You kind of see the dude with these big plushies at Disney World with his family, and it's like, you know, I think that. So I'm not necessarily concerned with like the actual metal being daft. Think just people recognizing that the people behind it are real people, and, you know, aren't that super serious. I think that's the problem. Is I think there's certain sets of people who just get so into it that they're like, oh, he must be like super metal his whole life. It's like, no, like, because people aren't. Like, I'm not like metal through and through. Like, there's some days where I'm just like doing something else. Do you know what I mean? So but I think it's important to have fun with it, and I think people resonate with that. It's quite clear to see that you see like bands that don't take themselves uber seriously, and there seems to be that kind of draw to them at the moment. Party Cannon's a great example. You know, their music is serious, but like those dudes like have fun with it, and people like. I think that's another thing. I think fun is contagious. Sorry, I'm just speaking out loud. I'm just
no. Go for it.
But I think fun is contagious. So like, if you see people having fun, you kind of want to join in on that, or it's almost infectious. You're going to be like, well, all right, I want to join in, like, because everyone likes to have fun. And again, like, you're only going to get a small niche of people who are like, no, I don't want to have fun. It's like, well, sucks to be you then.
Yeah.
You know?
Move on.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know if that answered the question. I just
yeah. That's absolutely charming, but yeah, there was so many style of footprints on in the custard or another example as well.
Good friends of ours. Love those dudes. Such,
yeah,
yeah.
Saw them at Bloodstock a while back, and don't be a cunt to me. It's just an absolute hilarious song.
Yeah, and it's words to live by as well. I think
it is.
I think that was that's I think again they're another band that where I think that very silly, but I think that even has like a hint of an actual serious message in it of like literally just don't be a dickhead to people.
Yeah.
Which is great. And again, it's the ethos of metal is in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love those dudes. Such good pals of ours. Been with them since like near the start as well. And yeah, just a very healthy and good friendship there with those guys.
Excellent. Hopefully, we'll see you guys both on tour together. That'll be a brilliant little tour in the UK.
Yeah, we've done it before, but it's long overdue again. I think now.
So, do you have any stories of particular hilarious reactions or misunderstandings due to your lyrical style?
I think live. I think we got booked to play a black metal show once, and that people didn't like that.
Oh, really? Didn't go down well.
It was like quite a serious night,
Mm.
and the promoter just whacked us in as a bit of a wild card, and I was on stage like, "Who likes the Chuckle Brothers?" And like, they were just,
no,
they were just like that in the crowd. But we carried on, and weirdly, that's kind of I enjoy those shows just as much as the ones that go really well because they're just quite hilarious. You know, you're watching the crowd and you're completely dying on stage, but you kind of get to a point where you're like, well, let's go down with the ship kind of thing, and you just try and see how and if you can win someone over in the crowd, that's always nice. Like you get to the end of that set and somebody's like cracked a smile, you're like, all right, cool, I've won. I've converted one person. But no, I don't think anyone's misinterpreted anything too badly. I was worried about the I'm sorry I wore a dying fetus t-shirt getting the wrong reaction weirdly from people who don't know metal.
Yeah.
So obviously people who you work with or people who you know from school on like social media or family members or stuff taking it the wrong way, but we've not any of that. I think everyone kind of got from the video concept what it's just about wearing a horrible metal shirt in the most awkward places. That's what the song's about. That's what the video's about. So fortunately, nobody took that in serious in a bad way, which is great.
That's good. That's good.
You get all online's a bit weird. So lyrically, no, but some of the videos people kind of misinterpret a little bit. I think, and they're like, I think people get a bit touchy sometimes. Like we did a jokey one about Five Finger Death Punch, and a couple of people didn't like that. People got a bit mardy with us about that. And you get like ones where if you make a little joke out of someone's favorite band, they get a bit touchy. But then on the flip side, we've done Slipknot ones, and Slipknot fans absolutely love when we take the mick out of Slipknot. So it's a bit. It depends on the fan base, I guess.
That being said, though, we're metalheads. People who are not within our community will take because people outside of the metal community that they mock what they don't understand. I'm not sure if it's the same for yourself, Sam, but myself growing up in high school, listening to Slipknot, blah blah blah, bullied. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Just because you listen to bands like Slipknot or Cradle of Filth or Limp Bizkit, that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, and then
I think that's testament to a lot of young people went through the same thing. You be alternate at
100%,
and you just get like you say, you just get picked on for it. I remember like growing my hair out, and that was a problem, and the band T-shirts that you'd wear, and it became a kind of sticking point of people had just like take the mick out of it, which I think is on the flip side back to Raised by Owls is most people will misinterpret. Some people will misinterpret it, but I think 95% of people will get that what we're doing comes from a place of love, like an understanding. Like I never want what we do, like lyrically on the album or sketch-wise, our intention is just to make people laugh. It's never to upset anyone. It's never to kind of like divide people, right, in that regard. And if a video is ever interpreted like that, that's not our intention. That's
Yeah.
certainly not my intention with it. It's to unify in terms of just like, right, let's have a laugh together. We're all in this boat together. We're all metalheads. We've all been through this shared experience, which is, again, goes back to school. We've all been there where you were maybe ostracized a little bit because of the music you listened to, and then growing up with it and the band t-shirts and wearing them in public, and it's that we want to really tap into.
Yeah.
And I think, like, take it, I think, yeah, I think, like, you've hit the nail on the head with, if you're outside of it and you're mocking it like inward, it doesn't really work. And I don't think it works, because I think people just like, I think if you're inside it and you're laughing, but you're laughing at yourself as well, like, that's the main point. You're laughing at yourself and you're laughing at everything around you. I think that's when it works.
It's an outlet as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've just touched on before, you can't take life too serious. You know what I mean? You've gotta have a laugh. We've got one life. We'll just live it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You've got to, you know, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? That's what I always think as well.
I could not have said it better myself.
Yeah.
100%. You've hit the nail on the coffin right there. So looking forward, main stage, that's huge. Do you feel extra pressure to bring the humor alongside your signature heaviness when you come to Bloodstock?
Yeah, that's a little bit on my shoulders to a degree, because I have to talk in between the songs, so I do feel like a pressure to be funny in that regard. But I think we'll plan Bloodstock quite meticulously, so I'm less scared of that, because I think what we'll do is we'll probably have that prep, and we'll probably have a stage production, or like some things going on, like some parts of the show where I'll bring certain people out, or bring certain things, or reference certain things, so that'll help with that. But
Yeah,
for sure, I'm definitely feeling the pressure to be like, it needs to be entertaining, like, it needs to be heavy, and it needs to be good, so that people walk away and go, wow, that was like, they were great, I'm going to check them out, or I've been checking them out and they're great. But I also want people to walk away and go, that was really funny, that was really entertaining, that was so much fun, all of those things. So it's quite a juggling act, because I think, like, if we just wanted to be a heavy band, it'd be cool, because you just right, let's just make the most heavy set ever. We want to just see this many pits, blah blah blah. But it's like, we want that, and we also want, like, people to come away laughing and stuff. So it's quite varied, and quite a, we make too much work for ourselves.
will you be getting all snazzy up for? We have one of your famous suits on, or a funky Hawaiian shirt?
We've talked about potential stage outfits. I don't know what we'll land on yet. It's a lottery. But, we have already talked about potential dressing up. So we'll see where that goes.
Excellent. So obviously, with the album coming out within a couple of weeks, or month and a half, roughly, what's the game plan to keep the momentum going? Because obviously you've already had the Dying Fetus song released. How can you keep this momentum going?
So early April, we'll have another music video out with another single. We've then got the album release in May. At the end of May, we're doing some album release shows. So we're doing, let me just double check that I've got the dates right here.
24th, 25th, 26th.
There we are. You've got them for me. Amazing. I have got them here just in case, and I was like, I better just check them. So yeah, Friday the 24th at Rock City Beta in Nottingham. Saturday the 25th at Star and Garter in Manchester, and then Sunday the 26th in London at 229. It's bank holiday weekend as well, so that Sunday gig is not kind of like, oh my god, I've got work in the morning. It's over.
Yeah.
Bank holiday.
Good shout on that one.
We're going out with Red Method as well, which will be cool. Band we've not played with before, but it's going to be super exciting to get out with those guys. And then festival. So we've got a couple of festivals lined up over the summer, so that will hopefully keep the momentum going. The weekly sketches, we're going to keep obviously churning those out. We've already started doing that. Plenty of online silliness that'll keep hopefully keep that momentum going. Festivals, and then in the autumn we're looking at doing like the second part of a UK tour, but over consecutive weekends in a lot of areas we've never played before. So that'll be interesting. That'll be exciting, I think, and a lot of places that people have been asking us to come back to for a long time. So,
And how about? I hope Newcastle will be on that list.
Well, it might be. You'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, it's again definitely some places that people have been
Yeah,
asking us about getting back to. So.
we do tend to get forgotten about when it comes to gigs and stuff. But if I've got to book it myself, Sam, I'll do it.
Yeah. Perfect. But yeah,
Excellent.
so I think we've got a good year lined up, and then I think we're already starting to look towards 25 as well.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
You've got
just
a
try and capitalize on that.
massive plan ahead of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you mentioned you've got a couple of festivals. Are they allowed to be mentioned? What festivals you've been announced for other than Bloodstock?
Yeah, so we're playing Mancart Festival in Nottingham in July, which is actually run by our. It's organised by our management, which is great. They've done it for the last 2 years in Nottingham, and it's kind of So basically, their background is they'd done the Macmillan Festival in Nottingham, which was kind of like. I'm trying to think of what it's like. I think it's tramlines in Sheffield. Basically, it's like a festival in the middle of the city centre across like multiple venues. So you
Right.
used to have like Rocksteady, Rescue Rooms, Tap and Tumbler, and like other places spotted around the city, and there'd be like bands on in every venue. And it's a little bit similar to that. It's kind of like Rescue Rooms, one of the rooms near Rescue Rooms, I think it's called Red Rooms, and then sort of like Tap as well. So kind of a similar thing, which I think will be really cool. I played it. I played it with another band last year, and it was great. It sold out, really good turnout, really good vibe. So we're playing that in July, and we're also playing Why Not Festival in August as well, which is an indie festival. It's like headlined by Snow Patrol and Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, and we're playing that. So.
Wow, that is a wild mix.
Yeah,
Raised by Owls and Snow Patrol.
We get asked to play that festival every year, and we get put on the Sunday. It's like the wild card booking, and we always have like a really good turnout. Like the tent is always packed, and it's just like nobody likes it's an indie festival. Like the majority of people in there aren't really bothered by metal, but they just come and just kind of witness it, and it's a lot of fun. It's good fun, and so
maybe because of the satire and the humor, you've got people outside of the metal community who like your stuff just simply because of the skits. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is it, and I think because of the British celebrity references, that's obviously carried that a bit. So, like, they know who I'm talking about from the other two albums. They get the references there, but also I think like nobody ever comes away from it. Like we speak to a few people after we played at the indie festival, and it's not the first indie festival we played. We played Truck as well a few years ago. Like people walk away from it, and it's not like they kind of came to watch a metal band and they're again laughing at it. They're kind of like, that's not my music, but like I really enjoyed that. So even if we're opening metal up to a different world in a very different way, it's quite cool and quite interesting. So yeah, that'll be fun.
So if Raised by Owls could collaborate with any metal band or heck anyone, who would your dream pick be and why?
Oh, Ainsley Harriott, which is anyone. Just doing something. I mean, that'd just send people crazy. It'd send me crazy. I'd love that. Yeah, that'd be phenomenal. In terms of just doing a video or getting him on stage at one point or something, it would be incredible to do something with him. In terms of metal, I don't know. I mean, I've got a couple of favorite bands, and we've actually got a couple of like. I mean, after the Dying Fetus thing, it'd be really cool to do something with them. It'd be really cool to maybe play a show with them, or anything. But there's a couple of people that spring to mind. But we'll have to see we don't annoy them with a sketch or something.
Corpse Grinder.
Yeah, again, like he seems like a lovely dude. Oh, actually, a funny anecdote about Corpse Grinder. He So because he's on our album cover, I don't know if you'll see him. If I just
I can see him all over. Yes, there he is.
there you are with his pine. So the guy who did our album artwork, Dan Goldsworthy, he's an excellent dude and a very, very good artist, a fantastic artist. I'm playing it down massively. He did our artwork, and through him doing our artwork, me and him worked. Like I obviously spoke through the ideas with him, and he was sending me drafts the whole while. And he said, one thing I am going to have to do, because I found out about him through Corpse Grinder's artwork. So he did Corpse Grinder's solo album.
Oh wow!
He was like, the one thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to tell Corpse Grinder, because obviously he's a client of mine. He's like a big client, and I don't want to upset him. He said, I'm sure he'll be fine about it, but I'm going to have to like send him the artwork and the song, and if you want, and the lyrics, just so he's cool with it. I'm like, yeah, dude, just do it. Like, I don't want to basically get you in trouble for something. And I also again, I hope that anyone that sees what we do in terms of sketches or music videos or whatever knows it's in good humor, and it's never with any malice, if you see what I mean. But apparently he came back and was just like, yeah, thanks for asking, Dan, really appreciate it, but thumbs up from me. So I was like, Corpse Grinder.
Yes,
that is taken.
But because of that approval, he'll now know who Raised by Owls are, which opens for a potential down the line.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'd be up for anything. I'd be up for. I think like long-term dream for me, just speaking completely openly now, is the sketch the sketches that we do on YouTube and TikTok and stuff. The way I kind of look at them is like a little sketch show that we've got, where it's just different sketches each week, and it's like the old sketch, like a classic British sketch show that you used to get in the 90s or early 2000s or whatnot. And I think my dream would be to have a lot of like metal legends cameo in it, like have them as like guests on the sketch, or like have them play over the top versions of themselves, or just anything like that. Just getting people that I've admired all these years and like looked up to be part of like these joke sketches would be amazing. That's like would be the dream kind of collab, is multiple ones, but in a very comedic scenario, a bit like Extras that Ricky Gervais did years ago. I mean, I'm not that mad on Gervais anymore, but like he did Extras and he had all these actors, like Hollywood actors in it, playing exaggerated versions of themselves, and like that is kind of would be amazing. Like, so you get Corpse Grinder in a sketch, but he's playing a version of himself, or he's playing a character. I think that'd be super fun, and I think it'd be funny, and I think people would really enjoy it. So
definitely.
So that'd be the dream.
Touch on the sketches. If you're okay, run me through it. How does a basic sketch? How do you come up with the idea, and how do you discuss it with the lads to create these sketches?
So normally, again, it's not every time, but normally I'll write them. So one thing I'm trying to do in my spare time anyway is just learn how to write screenplays. Not for any particular, like, obviously it'd be lovely to write a screenplay and do something with it, but
do a movie, dude.
yeah, like that. I mean, I'd love to do a sitcom or a movie or something. Like that's just a personal dream, but it's just quite a fun hobby anyway. Even if I don't, it's just kind of a nice pastime, and it's kind of a nice craft to learn. So I'll often think of ideas. I've got like this notepad in my phone that's just chocker of like when I've been at gigs and something pops into my head, I'm just like, write it down. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, write it down. So I normally write a note down, or I have an idea, and then I might try and flesh it out a little bit, or I might just start writing it and then let's see what comes out. And then typically what I'll do is I'll export. I'll finish it. I'll leave it for a couple of days, like come back to it with fresh pair of eyes, review it, rewrite it, and then I'll send it to the lads and see what they think. And then they might give me some feedback, or like, yeah, I like the ending, or the ending's a bit weird, or whatnot. And then I'll go back and like redraft it, and then if we're happy with that, then we make it. Sometimes there's been times where I've written with Lee. So Lee, our drummer, he records, so he films everything and edits everything. So he's kind of like a cameraman, which is lovely because we've got all this stuff that we just kind of do it in house rather than. Well, I don't think we could afford to hire someone to just do this on a weekly basis. So he makes it all, but I kind of I write them also. But yeah, and again, like sometimes the guys will go, well, maybe this will be a better gag, or they might add like little points, and then I'll just go back and add them in and stuff. So
Sometimes is it like, what can I get the lads to do on camera this week, sort of thing?
That's what it's like with my mum. It's like, what can I get my mum to say? Like, what horrendous band name can I get my mum to say on camera?
Like I said, just went with the two lads skipping through the field.
Yes, that was interesting. I remember this one vividly. I pitched that one at band practice. I was like, I've had a video idea for the music video, and I told them, and I was like, I think it could do all right. I think it might do all right online, and they were like, yeah, maybe. And then it ended up like blowing up like mad, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, min. So yeah.
You pretty much got your own like little film crooks. You're the director. You've got like the cameraman, so you've already got your own little movie set up anyway. Yeah, might as well do the Raised by Owls movie sometime.
Yeah, maybe coming to a cinema near you, like 2026. Or
yeah, definitely be on Netflix and Amazon Prime movies.
Yeah, let's see if someone buys into it.
Someone would. I'm sure someone will finance that. Crowdfund it.
Maybe we'll premiere it at Bloodstock instead of playing a set. We'll just play
it. They do play movies at Bloodstock from time to time. Or maybe do like a play.
Oh man, do you know what? Do you know what's funny, man? I think I'd love to do this one day as like a headliner set, but you'd need like maybe longer than an hour. I'd love to do a Raised by Owls panto. I'd love to do a
yes,
like a metal panto. And so, like, if someone wants to steal that idea, go for it, because I think a metal panto would be amazing. You fill it with like loads of metal gags and metal again, like a sketch. You do loads of metal characters, but you just make this over the top panto, and it's just sort of a metal gig as well.
Do it, man. If you don't, someone's got to do it.
yeah. I'll look into it. I'll see how well this album does. And then wherever we are with the album, I'll be like, right, it's panto time.
Notepad, get your notepad, jot that down, saved.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Well, before we do call it there, is there anything you wish to plug?
No, I think you've covered everything, man. I think it's been great. Obviously, new albums Friday, 3rd of May, Volume 3, the Satirical Verses. We've got some more music videos coming that hopefully people should enjoy. Sketches that should be on a weekly basis that will be carried on through the year. And then we've got those album release shows Friday the 24th of May in Nottingham, Saturday the 25th of May in Manchester, Sunday the 26th of May in London, bank holiday. And then festival season, including Bloodstock main stage, which is going to be very special. So, and then keep your eye out for more dates later in the year. And we'll see. Just check out the album, see what you think. Again, hope you enjoy it.
Anyone who is possibly going to be watching this back, if we haven't bored you to death after almost an hour, head on over to the Raised by Owls YouTube page, which is just raised by youtube.com/Raised by Owls.
Correct. It's like, I think that's for every channel as well. Just at Raised by Owls, you'll find us.
There you go. Easy. Just, to be fair, just put it up in Google. It'll probably come up straight away.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Sam, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I can't thank you enough for spending your time with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
But before we do end, I like to end just like this. The rules of the pit are the rules for life. When someone falls, we pick them up.
Lovely.
Champion.
Amazing. Yeah, that's what a lovely sentiment.